All right, welcome in. Cube Show podcast, a college football podcast, comes to you usually on Sundays. Because of the weather and some baseball games that got moved for my kids to Sunday, just kind of a crazy day. Couldn't really jam it in, so we're coming to you on Monday. We want to talk offensive line, the most important position on the field, right? You guys all love it. You guys all know it. But I don't think a lot of people know about a lot of these offensive linemen that are transferring into the SEC. So let's talk about some of them today. I'm going to go through we called them the top five. We'll call them the five that you need to know. And we'll go through a couple others as well, but these are just ones that I don't think people know a ton about, that I have high expectations for coming in, that I could see making a difference. And as you know, each and every week, we are brought to you by Wickles Pickles, wickedly delicious. We love them. We snack on them. We have them here. Wickles Pickles. You go to wicklespickles.com, check them out. You can order the actual pickles there. You can order some gear there. You can get the pickleball paddles there. Wickles Pickles sponsors the show. Please take care of them. And March Madness, you're going to be having parties, right? You're going to be having people over to talk about the games, watch the games. Get some Wickles Pickles in there. Here's one thing I love to do. I get a little Conecuh sausage. I cook it up, cut it, get a toothpick, go with Wickles Pickles and a Conecuh on the toothpick. Bam. That's all you need for a snack right there. It's easy. If I can do it, you can do it. And you get those going for your party goers, they're absolutely going to love them. So Wickles Pickles, wickedly delicious. Go to wicklespickles.com. All right, so offensive linemen coming into the SEC. Let's run through five that we just want you to know, want to take a look at. I'll give you a couple clips of, and you'll be able to see what they are and what they're all about. We're going to start with Wendell Moe Jr. from Arizona. He's going to Tennessee. He would probably be at the top of my list right now. I know if you go to a lot of these rankings, they're not there. And honestly, I looked at some of the rankings while I was going through a few of these guys, and I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I don't know how in the world they got to some of these dudes being ranked where they are. Wendell Moe Jr., 6'2", 339. That probably means 6'1", 350. That's what he looks like on film. He's, one of these, Pacific Island kids that is just mass, heavy, plays strong. Kid can anchor. He can move you. He is a lot of fun to watch. 11 starts last year, 638 snaps. He had 122 at right guard, 638 snaps at left guard, 122 snaps at right guard, didn't give up a sack. So you got a little bit of versatility there. He's not going to be a tackle. I don't think he's going to be a center. I wouldn't be surprised if he took snaps at center, because Arizona's center last year weighed about 340. So they didn't have a problem playing bigger guys there. But I think he's a guard, and he can play both, so that's good for Tennessee. He's pulled a little bit in that Arizona system, so you're going to have some of the gap scheme stuff in Knoxville. He'll be fine handling that. He can get out in space and hold his own. Now, he does get a little over his toes. He does get a little overexcited sometimes because he plays aggressive football. It's going to happen. You're going to whiff at times. So let's take a look at just a couple of plays that we have coming in here from Wendell Moe Jr. out of Arizona. First, you'll see him over here at left guard. Pass set, look at the hands, nice punch, and then just anchors down. But the finish is what we love. Okay, outside, three techniques, set, hands, punch, sit on him, and then finish that man into the ground. That's pass pro, okay? Pass pro is not passive. So you love seeing that from a guard. Second play, another three technique. Watch him switch off on the twist there. Good recognition that that's going outside, come back inside, refit your body, and then almost loses that D tackle inside, but look at him replace. Get back over inside. So good body control that I see here from Wendell Moe Jr., Arizona transfer into Tennessee for a guy that's 340, probably closer to 350, 360. I'd love to see him cut a little bit of weight. I think he could help his quickness, short area quickness especially, but he's got great body control, good lateral movement. He understands and recognizes when things are going to happen. He anticipates very well, and he can move you. Bottom line, at the end of the day, when he gets latched on, he's going to move people the other direction against their will. He has that ability. So for Tennessee, getting this young man in, I think you get a little bit more pop, a little bit more oomph than maybe what you had at guard last year. It's a guy that plays with a low center of gravity. He plays low to the ground. So being in a 2-point stance a lot, I don't think is going to hurt his leverage and hurt kind of who he is and how he plays. But I think it's a really nice get for Josh Heupel, Glenn Ellerbe, in that Tennessee offense. Looking forward to watching him play. Hey guys, back to tell you about my friends at Fanatics Live. I've told you before, I'll tell you it again. You just go click that app, Fanatics Live. If you're looking to get back into the hobby, get back into collecting cards, be it Disney, Pokemon, WWE, UFC, the Live golf cards are out now. You go right in here, search wherever you want to go. You're going to get all these different options of breaks. That means that they are taking boxes of cards that are pretty expensive. You buy one team, two teams, get in for a lot less. And there you go right there at Fanatics Live. You're going to have the opportunity to get in, check out a lot of different things. You can also go to Fanatics Live, go up to the top, just search pizza, right there. Go to shops and you'll see my friends at Pizza Pulls right there. I'm on Pizza Pulls Live every Tuesday, breaking college football cards. You can see it right there. We'll be in there this week. We'll probably do a little bit of Topps Finest, a couple others, so we can get that going. Also at Fanatics Live, you go to Pizza Pulls, the McDonald's All-American set by Topps Chrome are in now. You got some cool cards like Kevin Durant. You got some numbered cards that are going to come in there. Sarah Strong, you can pull a couple of those. Maybe pull in like a Leah McNeely, a couple different ones of those in there. So March Madness is here. You can go get some of those Topps Chrome McDonald's All-American cards now at Pizza Pulls. They're running breaks of those, some other shops as well. fanaticslive.com. Use the link right here on the screen. Sign up through Pizza Pulls. You get $25. It's right there on your phone. It's easy. Fanatics Live, if you're looking to get back into the hobby, get some college football cards, NFL, Major League Baseball. You want to go chase prospects. They got the Bowman Draft. Top Series 1 is out now for baseball as well. So a lot going on. You can get in there at Fanatics Live. Go to Pizza Pulls when you get there. All right, so now we're going to get to some that you guys just plain haven't seen and probably don't know much about. Derek Simmons. Derek's at Western Carolina, going to Oklahoma, 6'6", 325 pounds. Versatility all over the place. I've seen him play both tackle spots. I've seen him play both guard spots. I've seen him play 2 tackle spots and a guard spot in one game. This young man has great technique, has good patience. First clip, you'll see him out at right tackle. There's going to be a little pass set. Maybe leans, gets his helmet involved a little bit early, but watch the recovery, how he kind of bounces back here. So look at the clean set. Hands are something that can improve. His punch misses outside at times, but look at him retract that body back in front of that defender once it looks like he's going to lose him to the outside. And this is one thing that I've noticed from him is he has a chance to correct himself when it looks like he's going to get in trouble or he already is in trouble. I'm a big fan of this young man, but look at the second play. Now you get him at right guard. All right, so just coming off the football, quick step right down the middle of this defensive tackle, and look at the movement. It just shows you the power right there. And I understand the level of competition. That's what most of you are going to say. It's fine. But at the end of the day, he's squaring a D tackle up and doesn't even land a great punch on him and is still able to get movement. The quick steps with the nice base. Look at him keep the base, and he's just going to drive that defender off the football. I've seen him finish. I've seen him on screens out in space be able to run. He's got a good, clean, crisp pat set. Understands how to get that thing back inside if he needs to and change direction. The only thing that I'm missing here is consistent hand placement, consistent punch. But my understanding is that he has started already doing some things in spring football, and he's already impressing coaches there in Norman. I think a kid's got a chance to play. And if he can't start at tackle, I think he can help this team at guard. And keep in mind, one of the main reasons we're having this practice here today is all the offensive linemen, not just in the SEC, but around the country from places you probably didn't expect that had to come in and play, that had to come in and contribute. Some coming from smaller schools and just winning the jobs. Think about like Gargiulo at center for South Carolina a couple of years ago, came in, took that spot. So you're seeing some of these guys come in and have an impact right away because they played a ton of football and they understand the speed and the physicality, even if it is at a lower level. They know what it's going to be like. Next, we're going to go with Mason Murphy, offensive tackle from Southern California. Over here at right guard, look at this quick set. He sets down inside. Now, this is a weird play that I wanted to show you. It's a little different. He actually trips over his guard. But what I want you to notice here is the body control and the ability to recover. There's not a lot of tackles that can do this. Usually you're going right down on your ass or your backside, and there's not going to be a lot you can do about it. I mean, you can see that defensive end actually wins with his hands inside, but the ability to recover and then get side to side laterally as well and have almost another recovery outside of that is pretty impressive by the big man. Mason Murphy goes 6'5", 315, 10 starts last year, 5 at right guard, 3 at left tackle, 2 at right tackle. So he's been all over the place, played a lot of different football spots. The next clip, this is just a run play. And again, you're going to get a lot of this at Auburn, the gap scheme runs. So he's at right tackle, just blocking down on the 3 technique, who looks like he anticipates it well, still gets movement, helps open up that hole to be able to provide more run space for the back on the little counter play. So the physicality to come off the ball, move a defender who actually reads it and anticipates it well, still being able to get a push. You saw him in pass pro, able to recover, show some footwork, show nice body control. He's got good physicality. He does finish. I have seen him appear to be tired and maybe gassed in a couple of games. So conditioning, something I think is going to need to come his way. And then getting a little bit more flexible in the lower body. Has a tendency to start standing up, even in his stance, getting a little bit higher as games go on. But a lot of folks are going nuts about the tackle from Virginia Tech that Auburn's getting in. I actually think Murphy has a chance to come in and be a better player and contribute just as much, if not more. That's why I've got him on my list. All right, so then we'll go to number 4, Josh Thompson from Northwestern. Now, Josh Thompson's a guy that I think when you look at what he offers you and the ability that he has, first thing I think of is technique and fundamentals. So this is a young man that we'll see him first lined up at right guard. Watch the wide splits there coming off the ball. Look at the wide base. Okay, shoots the hands, and one thing he's great at. We've talked about a couple of guys who might not be great with the hands. Thompson's very good with the hands. The finish, he's going to track the ball down after it busts loose. You see him give the little fist pump there. But be able to walk off the football right down the middle of a D lineman, get movement off the football because of hand placement, because of pad level, staying square to the line of scrimmage, and you're able to get that D tackle going backwards. All right, we'll have the opposite angle here from the opposite end zone at right guard again. This is just a fantastic job of staying square. Look at him eyeing that linebacker, but also want you guys to notice the track on where he's going to where that linebacker is going to be, not to where he initially sees him, and the ability to stay square all the way up to the second level. Decent hat placement, kind of loses it a little bit late, but shoots the hands, but then runs that backer past the hole, which gives that running back the ability to cut it back and go find extra yardage after the play. It's just an excellent job of keeping those shoulder pads square to the line of scrimmage as you climb, having an idea of how to get to where that linebacker's going, so understanding the angles of the game, and then staying low to the ground, being able to push that backer pass. He's got great pad level. He's got great hands. He has a great finish and a great attitude, demeanor, the way that he plays the game. The one thing with Josh Thompson is he doesn't play very heavy. So if this was a team that I thought was going to have to come out and run inside zone and duo 30 times a game to be successful, I might be a little bit concerned. I would imagine most of the offense is going to go through Nussmeier, and LSU might be a throw-first football team this year, even though that just means dinks and dunks that become extensions of the run game. This young man's going to be able to handle that. Now, if we're talking about War Daddy 3 techniques, he's going to have to go against 25, 30 times a game. And if he doesn't get movement, LSU loses, then I think we might have a problem. 6'5", 301. He's got 31 starts in his career. He's got that nasty and that demeanor that you want. He's already graduated. So you get somebody in that knows the physicality of the game, is intelligent, and can go out there, play both guard spots, might be able to play some center. I haven't seen him do it yet on film, but is a grinder, pad level, hand placement, finish, steps. He gets all of that. So technique is going to be his strength. And I think with his experience, you can get away with that now in the Southeastern Conference, a young man that I think could help this LSU offensive line next year. All right, finally, we're going to go to Boaz Stanley, one of the best names you're ever going to get, playing down at Troy, which, not too far from Boaz, but either way, Boaz, Alabama, that is, for you guys that don't know. This young man is a little bit of a different character. First play here, you're going to see a zero nose lined up. But look where the hand placement are. He's under the pads of that defensive lineman. The finish to be able to allow for a couple extra yards to be able to be picked up. But see how square he is coming across on that nose guard. Then gets those hands underneath, continues to drive the feet. And a lot of times, if you don't finish that D tackle is going to be able to come off and end that play for about a 1-2 yard gain. Instead, because he gives you that finish, he's able to continue to drive that thing down for about a 6 yard gain. So off the ball hand placement initially, gets good hat placement first and foremost. It's an insert play. So the back could have hit that thing down inside just a little bit more. But I like the physicality. I like the pad level. I like the hand placement. This is not an easy task to take on a zero nose like this one-on-one. It is not fun. And it's something that often does not go your way. Second play will be behind Boaz now. And you'll see once again, another run play. Look at that pad level, shoulder to shoulder, hip to hip with his guard. And understanding I don't have to come off early. I can drive this defensive tackle back until we get to that backer, make him be wrong by playing the wrong side of it, come off at the last minute, get a little bit of finish, and that's going to help for an explosive run for our back to be out of the gate. And then you see a little extra finish over there at the end. Boaz Stanley from Troy transferring into South Carolina, 6'4", 310, 12 starts last year, 786 snaps, 466 of those at center. And how about this? 320 at right tackle. So he's got the versatility in emergency situation. Listen, South Carolina's got some good young tackles. I don't think he's going to go play out there. They need him more inside. But you're talking about somebody who The pad level is going to be low center of gravity, gets his hands on it. Kind of reminds me of a heavier Shannon Robeek, who played at Auburn before I did, because those hands get inside on that D tackle and he just latches them and locks on and then continues to run his feet. But he gets movement because of the leverage that he can get. He's got a heavy lower body. If you see him when you're watching the clips there, he's just got a thick rear end, big quads. So I think a lot of his power comes from his lower body. He does not try to win with his upper body, which is a really nice habit for an interior offensive lineman to have. Really any offensive lineman, but there are some tackles who at times can get away with winning, not just with their upper body, but primarily with, if you were to win that punch, you can redirect yourself. But this young man understands leverage, understands hat placement, pad level, and he plays hard. He's a pretty good finisher, gets after people. You can tell he's got a little bit of nasty. I talked to some coaches at Troy about him. They love his demeanor. I will say John Summerall told me he recruited him and said he loves the kid, loves the way he talks, loves the way he plays. And so this is somebody who I think comes to South Carolina and helps this offensive line right away. He can be somebody that maybe starts and gets in there. If he doesn't start, he can be a rotational substitute, be it at tackle, at center, at guard. So you're getting a guy in now, and you need this depth. You have to have it in today's college football, who gives you depth at multiple spots, and that's valuable. So there's a couple other kids that I did want to kind of take you guys through, because I know what you're going to be thinking. You're going to say, oh, well, I saw the rankings, and this guy was number 1, and you didn't mention this guy was number 2, and you didn't mention him. I just went with 5 that I saw that I liked. 5 that had traits that I think can come in and give them a little bit more of an edge as far as winning a job right away. Do I think Xavier Chaplin can win one of the tackle jobs at Auburn, the Virginia Tech transfer? Yes, I do. He's long. He's a backbender. He gets overextended a lot. Okay. He plays high. Even in his stance, most of the times he struggles to get low. Lower body flexibility is going to be important for him if he's going to consistently win in this league. Patrick Kudas, Arkansas offensive lineman going to Ole Miss. Ton of experience, plays hard, got a good motor. Just everything we just talked about with Boaz Stanley, this young man does not have in his lower body. He's kind of like me when I played. He doesn't have the majority of that power coming out of his quads and his rear end to be able to push people. So he kind of gets top heavy at times, and he gets thrown to the left or thrown to the right. But as far as assignments, playing hard, technique, he's going to be able to give you that in a little bit more. Braylon Moore from Virginia Tech, somebody who I think kind of similar to Kudas, just doesn't give you a lot of lower body power, gets overextended at times. Somebody who I think has the ability to move laterally. He pulled a lot in that Virginia Tech scheme last year. Not the finisher that I would like to see, but does have the size and the strength and the ability to maybe find his way to that LSU offensive line. Hey guys, I want to tell you about my friends at Blue Delta Jeans, the most comfortable denim that you'll ever wear. Premium denim, custom denim just for you. That's right. Blue Delta jeans were made to fit your body. So they're not going to be too loose down around the ankles, in the hips, in the rear. They're made for you. So you're going to look sleeker, look trimmer. You're going to look better. You can dress them up, dress them down, go casual if you want to. Blue Delta jeans, the best pair of denim you will ever own. You're never going to want another pair. You can do gift cards. They can fit these things digitally. If you're over in Oxford, stop by the shop. Let them fit you there. Hell, if you're at Major League Baseball game or a golf event in the PGA, you'll probably find them there also. Tell them you heard about them right here on Cube Show. That's Blue Delta Jeans, BlueDeltaJeans.com. A couple others that I watched. We'll just kind of continue to go down the list of notes that I had here and guys that I tried to take a look at. Corey Robinson from Georgia Tech, 6'5", 305. He plays like every bit of 6'5". Got to get lower flexibility, lower body flexibility. Hard study. He struggles to get down in his stance. He catches a lot of defenders here in his chest, and he doesn't win with his punch very often. He's athletic as hell, though. Like, he can move side to side. He can get up the field. He's got a good, quick pass set. It's just, as far as leverage, it's not a game that's often on his side, and not somebody who I think that's going to be his strength. Alex Wolschlager at Bowling Green going to Kentucky. I think he's got great technique, a good pass set, but does not win with his lower body. When he gets going one way, it's hard for him to change directions quickly, but his technique's pretty sound, somebody who I think can go in and help. Another long tackle that Kentucky brings in is Shy-Ass Pete from New Mexico State. I love the way he plays. He's got some nasty to him. His lower body looks like an NBA power forward because it does not have a lot of mass down there. So he's not strong in the lower body, but he does give you the effort in the run game that you want to see. And he's got a gigantic wingspan. So when he does win with his punch in pass pro, he's going to be able to give you a lot, and he offers a lot. Delano Townsend, 6'4", 315, UAB guard going to Ole Miss. gets way out extended over his toes at times, tries to be an upper body killer, tries to win with his punch when he's coming out in run game, ends up on his knees, on his stomach, on his face mask a little bit too much. But you love that he at least has the aggressive nature, and he can at least get after you that way. Not as technically sound as some of the other guards that we have mentioned, though. Dominic Guidice, not really sure, but he's there at Michigan transferring to Missouri. This is a kid that technically is super sound. He just doesn't have a lot of raw power. He played center for Michigan, played some guard for Michigan. I watched a couple games where he was at center, and he handled all the pre-snap stuff extremely well. So he's making the points. You can see him on film. He's getting things redirected. Texas ran a couple of twists at him, and he was able to maneuver, get off, and pick those up cleanly. He's just not going to overwhelm you with his ability. But a guy who I think you could plug in at center or guard if you had to have him, and he's not going to give you a ton of losses. Rodney Newsome, Western Kentucky guard, going to South Carolina, 6'3", 295. He plays light. It's the only thing I really know how to say about him. He's athletic. He moves well. He can get side to side. He's got a good pass set. He's quick, really quick. He's got good athleticism, like I said, but he just plays light. He gets pushed around a little bit, gets knocked around some, doesn't recover well, and that's going to be something that I think will be a struggle moving forward. Another one that I watched, Sam Pendleton. I had already watched Sam Pendleton at Notre Dame. He gives you all the attitude, all the demeanor that you want. Upper body strength, good. Lower body, not so much. He's one of those guys, too, that gets engaged with the D lineman and then gets thrown off a lot or ends up kind of going down. He's got to work on that base and got to work on some of the lower body power. But I do think he has enough ability to be able to help that Tennessee offensive line this year. Keegan Trost, Wake Forest, 6'4", 305. Another one that plays a little bit high, pad level not where it needs to be a lot of the times. Very quick, very light on his feet when he takes his pass set, can change directions well, but sometimes gives up a little bit of that ability to anchor when he does that. So he loses some power and loses that ability to anchor at times when he does it. Cam Dewberry going from A&M to Alabama. This is not one that a lot of people don't know about, but did go back and watch a little bit more Cam Dewberry. The first thing I think of is conditioning. He's got to get in shape. When he gets latched on, he can move you. He's got power. He just whiffs a lot because once you get that 350 pounds going, it's hard to stop it, and keeps his head down, kind of keeps his shoulders rolled over just a little bit. That can all be repaired fairly easily. But I think the first thing with Cam is conditioning, getting in shape. He's got to drop some pounds if he's going to be able to help that offensive line. Percy Lewis, we've talked about him enough here. Auburn to Ole Miss. I don't think I don't see him as being a factor. I don't see him doing a whole lot. Shaq McCroy, I have no film on him going from Oregon to Arkansas, high profile recruit. So you can trust the recruiting people on that one. So that's kind of what we had as far as just going back and looking at some offensive linemen that are transferring into the league. Again, the ones that I saw that I liked the most: Wendell Moe Jr., Arizona to Tennessee, Derek Simmons, Western Carolina to Oklahoma, Mason Murphy, USC to Auburn, Josh Thompson, Northwestern to LSU, and then Boaz Stanley, Troy to South Carolina. It doesn't mean that they're the 5 best. It means with what they're going to be asked to do based on what they've already done and what I think they're capable of, I think they're probably the 5 best fits. So like I said, maybe we should title this the 5 that you need to know. We'll go with the 5 best transfers coming into the SEC at offensive line. There's going to be more in the spring, and some of these guys might be out. So we don't really have an idea what it's going to look like. Guys are going to get dinged up as well. What we do know is that you're going to have depth, and you're going to have guys that can come in and fill a little bit. I mean, we talked about it with Notre Dame last year with Jagusaw coming in and playing a massive role for them in the Orange Bowl and helping the Irish find a way to get a win. You're going to have guys late in the year that are capable of not costing you snaps and getting your quarterback killed and forcing turnovers because you're losing up front. You just can't afford it in this day and age of college football. So depth is critical. And these are some lower level guys, not all of them, but a couple lower level guys that I think teams in the SEC have gone and found that are going to be able to come in and help and going to be able to add that depth in a little bit more. Also, shout out to Home Field Apparel on this sweet Auburn hoodie that I got just in time for the tournament. They sent me some Auburn gear to get ready for the NCAA tournament. Obviously, Big Dance is here. Go check them out at homefieldapparel.com. They have some awesome stuff. The little pullover jackets, the warm-up jackets that they just put out for a lot of different schools that are retro are sick. You got to go check those out. Either way, always appreciate you guys being with us. Please subscribe. Please tell your friends about us. Please leave in the comments what you want us to talk about, what you like, didn't like about this. I love the comments each and every week, so I appreciate you guys. Even though there's a lot of people that hate us, I don't care. We'll be back with more next week.